after going through the baptism of many bad movies. I believe that many people have given up on Marvel movies. Hope. Even more than 10 years of old fans have retreated one after another. But the upcoming Thunder Squad. It seems to have brought word of mouth back to the city. The media who have seen it in advance are very satisfied. It's really interesting in the trailer. Combine this film with other Marvel films. Theme park-like plot separation. More realistic and rustic, only. This time it's all a group of third-rate heroes, even old fans. They may be very unfamiliar with some characters. So in this issue, we will talk about it in detail. Each role in the timeline of the Marvel Universe. And why they will become a most unique team. First, let's talk about the ghost that you should be most unfamiliar with. Only appeared once in Ant-Man 2. The body can store and move forward. Is a top assassin, his father and the first Ant-Man. Hank Pym is a colleague, but Pym fired him because of disagreements. Pym was very arrogant, angry, and discredited him, and never found a job, just to prove my theory. The father is frantically conducting various quantum experiments. As a result, an accidental explosion. Let him and his wife die. Only their daughter was left behind. Survived the ruins. Quantum space allows him to explode at the moment. Body blur. Escaped. And his special ability made him favored by SHIELD from this day and night training. Make it a stealth assassin. He killed a lot of people during that time. But over time, his abilities are increasingly unstable. It's like a different time and space is going to tear his brain apart. In 2014, the American team alone. The power to bring down an internally corrupt SHIELD after. He was adopted by a man named Goliath. In the comics, there's also the giant flower man who has worn a combat uniform. They've been monitoring the Pyms for a long time, until the first part, Ant-Man, to save his daughter, accidentally entered the quantum world, and Pym's wife. The first generation of Imperial father and daughter really made a quantum connection. Get them excited. Decided to build a robotic rescue needle. It was also at this time that the Ghost found an opportunity. He stole Pym's lab where he could grow and shrink. Ready to fix yourself with it. 2 waves of people you fought, and I robbed multiple rounds. Under extremely unstable conditions, Ghosts can be with Ant-Man. Huang Feng Girl hits back and forth at the same time. It can be seen that its strength is powerful, still defeated, just when he thought he was going to die. Really use yourself in the quantum realm. 30 years of learning skills. Easily stabilized the Ghost's ability, and the anger inside him was dispelled. At the end of the film, he is wanted by the FBI. I can only live in the dark for a while. Honda is also a ghost after 7 years. The first return to the MCU, and then there's Dongbing Baki, who everyone is most familiar with. First appearance with Captain America. A World War II officer with a kind heart. I can't stand bullying the weak. I'm with you to the end of the line, pal. And his best friend Steve, after Rogers injected the serum to become Captain America. He decided to join his team. The brothers teamed up to destroy many Hydra bases, but during a mission, to cover Steve. Bucky fell from hundreds of meters. No news since then. Everybody thought he was dead, even built a monument. But in fact, he was fished up from the Atlantic Ocean by the Soviets. They put in a very powerful robotic arm, after years of brainwashing and training. Make him the perfect killer for the Cold War. Dongbing, but every once in a while, emerging memories can impede their cognition. So we have to re-brainwash. It's been so painful to do it over and over again, after years of change. Dongbing has been working for Hydra since then. He lurks in the shadows, hands without any memory. Took countless lives. Until 2014, Team America discovers Aegis Class has been completely invaded by Hydra, forced him to give up his true body. Former brother, also Steve, in this future world. The only person who can feel a trace of reality. Now it's going to die. At the end of Team America 2, Steve gives up resistance. He gives him "with you" at the end of the line. But it's this sentence. Let Dongbing's memory be confused again. What does he remember? Fishing Steve up from the water. Then turn away. Until the American team Mazemo appeared. This person was in the Battle of Avengers 2 Sokovia. Lost loved ones, decided to retaliate. These superhumans who do things regardless of the cost. At this time, Bucky had escaped from hell for many years. Most of my memories have been recovered, but Zemmer backhanded and killed the King of Varkan. Blame yourself, while awaiting investigation after being arrested and jailed. Zemmer disguised himself as a staff member again. Use the brainwashing code found. Once again, controlled Bucky's mind. He broke through the defense of half of the Women's Federation alone. In plain sight, confirmed his guilt to the world. Only Team America saw through Zemmer's conspiracy at a glance, after finding a restored Bucky. The two are ready to stop the torture together, just like the old days. This naturally led to the airport battle of Team America 3. The brothers escaped under the cover of their teammates. And then Iron Man, after an investigation. I also realized that I was wrong. So I went to Siberia to help 2 people. But I don't know, I'm walking into the trap of torture. It was officially launched in 1911. Dongbing killed Iron Man's parents with his own hands, facing each other's crazy accusations. Bucky was speechless, only a few years of memories in his long life, and every time I wake up not facing a murder charge, is to live in self-regret. He's really tired. Apologize for something you never knew. But apparently Tony has lost his mind. Even murderous. When each pair sees this, they can only drag the other and make Baji run quickly. Here we go, fans, the 10-year-long Iron War. At the end, Team America broke Tony's armor, successful escape. Avengers also disbanded, and Bucky was taken in by the Black Panthers to Wakhan, with the help of high technology here. He is no longer brainwashed by the code he used to be. 2 years later, Thanos invasion. Bucky, who has been abandoned countless times by humans, still choose to stand on the Earth's first line of defense. It can only reach the disparity in strength between the two sides. Disappeared in front of his brothers again, until the final battle 5 years later. Resurrected by the snap of the Hulk's fingers. Helped the Avengers save the world. And after that, but now it's above. A car full of hostages is about to crash. On one side is the murderer of the brother. On one side are civilians in crisis. John is caught in a dilemma. The moment I dropped my shield, he is truly worthy of this status. Because every captain is never a career, a set of prisoners of war. It's a spirit of sacrifice for others. In the end, John also won the approval of both of them. But after that, he chose not to trust the government anymore. So he created an all-black suit. From then on, he became an American spy and worked for Valentina. These are the background stories of 6 anti-heroes. Although, in the preview, there are still many. Marvel's iconic plug-in. Joke. But personally, I'm still looking forward to this movie. After all, it was President Kane who abandoned it and returned. The first project in charge. We all see rebirth under the night. How did he save her? And the movie is in the trailer. It deliberately shows the difference from previous movies. Broken uniform, embarrassing fight. Heroes take to the streets to save civilians. They are all shots that Marvel has rarely seen over the years. Without the people, what heroes do you talk about? So the film at least realizes that, including the opening leaf, the scene of Lena under the moon from the second tallest building in the world. There is also no real shot of green wood. It accentuates his tone. So I'm personally still looking forward to it. So why is this group of people a team? In fact, it can be seen from the introduction just now. They are not your typical heroes. Both have very dirty histories. But without exception, they have just broken free from the shackles of the past. Confused, looking for a new life. so they may dislike each other at first. But in the end, you will find that everyone is the same person, and that corresponds to a recurring signal in the poster. Heroes come from many places, finally converged into a point. And in the interview with the main creator, he also hinted that. This signal may have greater significance, and it can be seen from Yelena's assassination of Hawkeye. Valentina has her own ambitions. Get rid of the old members of the Avengers first. Then say that over and over again. The Avengers are not coming. Apparently, he's building a power of his own. The mysterious villain, Sentinel. Probably his carefully crafted all-around idol. Take the villains of the Thunder Squad. Give him experience. Of course, the above is only the speculation of some media friends. The real story is good or bad. Or do you want everyone to go to the cinema to experience it by themselves? That's it for this video. Follow me. Continuously update more excellent supersonic works. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Team America chooses to stay in the past when returning gems, living an ordinary life with Carter. In fact, you can see from this last performance, Bucky knew about his plans, but he's still going to be alone again, to face a world he is unfamiliar with. Next up is Red First, the impersonator and the second generation of Black Widow, because all three made their debut. It's all in the movie Black Widow, so I put them together. Red number 1 is the Soviet Union imitating the American team. A super soldier build. That's why Bucky has always been his idol. Why you got someplace to me. I love that guy. He was sent undercover to the United States during the Cold War, to disguise. The organization arranged for him to form a family with one wife and 2 daughters. And those 2 girls. It was the Black Widow Natasha and Yelena. After the mission is successfully completed, the sisters were sent to the Red House for training. Become a top assassin. The Red number 1 is because they know too much. They put them in jail, until many years later. Then he was foolishly rescued by Hawkeye, and blew up the Red House base, to make their leaders realize the seriousness. So based on the mental manipulation of Dongbing, we developed a toxin. His Black Widow are like robots. Obey orders. Yelena has spent the past few years like this. And the naive one is stupid. I thought my sister had been liberated long ago. I just don't want to see myself. Not long after the Civil War ended, Yelena was sent on an assassination mission, because the target has the antidote to save the widow. Yelena is agile. It's done in a few clicks, but the other party used his last strength to release before dying. The antidote restored his will. Yelena was angry. I just took the initiative to contact my sister for the first time, to overthrow the Red House together. The 2 also rescued their fake father, by the way. As a support, actually, the Red Guard has always felt guilty about the sisters, because he thought the world was too beautiful, like a hero's fairy tale. So when the sisters were sent to the Red House, not only did she not stop it, she was very supportive. He didn't regret it until he learned the cold-blooded truth. Subsequently, in natural harmony with their mother. Finally, completely destroyed the Red House, set countless Black Widows free. At the end, Yelena gave her plaid jacket to her sister. This is also after he regained consciousness. The first choice I made. She later became Natasha, the suit of Avengers 3. It's a pity that this farewell is forever. Yelena has experienced the destruction of time. When you come back, my sister has sacrificed herself to save the world. In Black Widow's Easter egg, he stood there in pain. Currently, although the sisters have only been together for a false 3 years. But it was Yelena, the only truth in my life for more than 20 years. True and beautiful memories. It is also, at this time, the mid-level intelligence chief who appeared many times in high school appeared. His name is Valentina. Fake pleasantries first, then misled his city Hawkeye to kill him. But we all know that's not the case. In Avengers 4, 2 people are competing to die for each other on the edge of a cliff, but he's more stupid than that. Unaware sister, chased all the way to America. It also corresponds to the plot of the American drama Hawkeye. Also officially formed the second-generation British and widow combination. But after Hawkeye revealed the truth, Elena finally put down her hatred and turned away. No longer blindly pursue the past. It's about being yourself. Then imitate the master. It's the Red House agent the sisters met halfway through, possessing the responsiveness of a photographer. No matter how complex the target's body movements are, he can imitate accurately. So, in Black Widow, shows the fighting skills of multiple members of the Avengers, and in comics. The imitator is also a clever strategist, but in the movie, to show the Olympic magic he killed. The master became the daughter of the leader of the Red House. Destroy the Red House. It was SHIELD's final test of his stupidity. Success can be one of them. So, to make sure its leader shows up, then he rewards, using his daughter as a child in some way. Then the whole building was blown up. But its leader is not dead. He controlled the mind of his future daughter. Become your own soldier. The imitators in the movie use a similar form of memory card, the ability to imitate others. And in the end, using him to be stupid woke up his memory, remorse for past actions. After this, the imitator has a life of his own. And finally, American Spies. First appeared in Gathering Falcons and Eastern Soldiers. After Avengers 4, the Americans pass the shield to the Hunter. Falcon, but Falcon thinks. This shield symbolizes the spirit of Team America. More than just a weapon. So he donated it to the Captain America Memorial. But as half the population returns, the international situation is bound to be greatly impacted. Developed countries led by the United States, in those years of snapping fingers. Due to lack of labor. Large numbers of migrants have been attracted from the border, but now the population is coming back and ready to abandon them. Among the homeless, an organization called Sweet Tears was born. They believed Thanos was right to snap his fingers, and privately obtained a lot of super soldier serum. Very dangerous. The U.S. government is in a hurry to win back the hearts of the people. He announced a man named John Walker will become the next Captain America. John Walker, the first person to win 3. Medal of Honor, American Warrior, Captain of multiple counterterrorism covert operations, physical strength, specially studied by the government. Also a big fan of Team USA. Then in the first encounter with the Rider, meet with Liadong, but saw another person carrying that shield. Make the two very unhappy. John wanted to cooperate. As a result, the hot face pasted a cold butt. Subsequent proposals were also rejected. John couldn't take it anymore, shake them off and warn them to stay out of their way. Then he investigated himself. But during this time, riders rescued a large number of homeless people, no matter how much he pushes. Just can't get a clue. At the same time, in order to solve the case as soon as possible. Help the tortured Baron who is most familiar with super soldiers. The prison break made John very unhappy. Impatient, he ignored the East Army's resistance. Direct, broke into the negotiations between the Falcon and the Rider leader. There was an opportunity to solve the crisis. Broken again, despite years of hard training, but still not as easy as a superhuman. There was chaos. Zemo destroyed a large amount of serum while the other party escaped, but one of the bottles rolled under John's feet. He thought about it and put the serum in his pocket. And then, my partner said, he was right. After several years of war, they lost countless teammates. If there was serum, it will definitely save more people. John is lost in thought. But then he was beaten by the guards of Wakan. Each team of 3 has their old king killed. Come here to fight for the right to torture. It really frustrated John. After a while, he received the message again. Then the leader and the Falcon met again. He is still willing to believe in the Dongbing too. Actually, most of the members are fans of each pair and others, dreaming of becoming a freedom fighter. John led the first team to negotiate craftily again. But in the chaos, his best brother was killed by his accomplice, and John was infuriated. It was then that Falcon discovered that he had been injected with the serum. He chased all the way, staying on the street until a random rider, then in full view, beat the man to death. A shield that symbolizes all good qualities. Dongbing can't take it anymore, defeat him and take back the shield, and handed it over to the Falcon in anger. And after that, John is like an expired toy. Fired from the government. That's when Valentina found him. Persuade him to leave the government, do it to yourself. And John is impatient. He is still a relatively simple and kind person at heart. Listened to its lies. Make yourself a shield. The night the attackers rioted the UN meeting, he came to the scene, struggling to hunt down their leader. But now it's above. A car full of hostages is about to crash. On one side is the murderer of the brother. On one side are civilians in crisis. John is caught in a dilemma. The moment I dropped my shield, he is truly worthy of this status, because every captain is never a career, a set of prisoners of war. It's a spirit of sacrifice for others. In the end, John also won the approval of both of them. But after that, he chose not to trust the government anymore, so he created an all-black suit. From then on, he became an American spy and worked for Valentina. These are the background stories of 6 anti-heroes, although in the preview, there are still many. Marvel's iconic plug-in. Joke. But personally, I'm still looking forward to this movie. After all, it was President Kane who abandoned it and returned. The first project in charge. We all see Rebirth under the night. How did he save her? And the movie is in the trailer. It deliberately shows the difference from previous movies. Broken uniform, embarrassing fight. Heroes take to the streets to save civilians. They are all shots that Marvel has rarely seen over the years. Without the people, what heroes do you talk about? So the film at least realizes that, including the opening leaf. The scene of Lena under the moon from the second tallest building in the world. There is also no real shot of green wood. It accentuates his tone. So I'm personally still looking forward to it. So why is this group of people a team? In fact, it can be seen from the introduction just now. They are not your typical heroes. Both have very dirty histories. But without exception, they have just broken free from the shackles of the past. Confused, looking for a new life, so they may dislike each other at first. But in the end, you will find that everyone is the same person, and that corresponds to a recurring signal in the poster. Heroes come from many places, finally converged into a point. And in the interview with the main creator, he also hinted that this signal may have greater significance, and it can be seen from Yelena's assassination of Hawkeye. Valentina has her own ambitions. Get rid of the old members of the Avengers first, then say that over and over again the Avengers are not coming. Apparently, he's building a power of his own, the mysterious villain Sentinel, probably his carefully crafted all-around idol. Take the villains of the Thunder Squad. Give him experience. Of course, the above is only the speculation of some media friends. The real story is good or bad. Or do you want everyone to go to the cinema to experience it by themselves? That's it for this video. Follow me continuously update more excellent supersonic works. Thanks for watching. See you next time.